Hi, hello, and welcome to my channel. For all of those of you who are new here, I'm Denise. Also, all of you that watched the last couple of videos, I don't think I ever introduced myself. So, hi, hello, I'm Denise. Or Denise in English, I guess. For today, we're gonna work on my sketchbook again. I have the Etchr Prefect sketchbook, and I've been using it to test out limited palettes and just to try a little bit harder to create that perfect kind of sketchbook. It's not my goal to get this perfect in any kind, but I do have cheaper sketchbooks, and I have some sketchbook tours that I will link down below. And then you will see that a lot of it is just scribbles and scrabbles, and I just wanted to have a sketchbook that's a little bit more with actual paintings. And I set intentions when I started this sketchbook, and one of the intentions was to work with a limited palette. So that's what we're gonna do here. I'm gonna try and paint this fat little cartoonish kind of cat. And I've tested out a couple of limited palettes like you saw. And this is the one that I chose because it gave the most surprising colors. It had a distinct feel to it, and the rest was just, it seemed more normal. So I'm using the orange from Holbein. I'm using Holbein zinc white with yellow ochre from Winsor Newton mixed, and I'm using the smalt blue from Holbein. And that's all. I do, by the end of this painting, just to come clean, use a little bit of yellow ochre. It's the same yellow ochre that I used in the mixture, but I just needed a darker color. I needed a darker green, so I did use that. But yeah, working with such a light color as your starting color, like with the very light yellow, that gave really interesting results. I thought it was gonna be that the painting was super soft, and that it did end up very soft, but it also was super hard to distinguish the colors. So working with this limited palette definitely had its challenges, but it was the whole point of this sketchbook to test those kinds of things out and to actually take those challenges on. So I'm starting painting here, and I wanted to have a beige background, and you will see me doing a lot more layers of background because it was way too dark, but I only saw that when it dried. And you see me forgetting another important step here, which is, actually putting down the washi tape to have a clean border. It is what I wanted to do, but I forgot it. So I guess we'll add that right now. So, washi tape added. You will see that in the end, the part that I'm painting here is a little bit, it's not that crisp of a border. That's because the paper is already super slightly warped because of the paint, and then it just gets hard. Okay, so while you see me painting this painting, I will talk a little bit more about the intentions that I set for the sketchbook. Actually got my sketchbook here. So the intentions that I set was, I wanted to use the whole page. I wanted to practice lighting. I wanted to experiment with limited palettes. I wanted to relax and let go, create at least one master study, and try. So I did try some limited palettes already, but this is by far the most limited palette. Also because I didn't use a black in there. So normally I would have a black. I will always grant myself a black and a white, or a very dark brown and a white. But now the blue was the darkest color I had. Yeah, so I wanted to use the whole page, and that is mostly because in my other sketchbooks, maybe I had one little teensy tiny sketch, and then I call the page done. And it was good. I'm learning a lot from those pages. I make sure I don't get stuck by just, continuing what I'm doing. So that helps a lot. But I have other sketchbooks for that. So for this sketchbook, I just wanted to use the whole page. I wanted to challenge myself to make some bigger art. I also wanted to practice lighting. And I'm doing that with a couple of paintings in this sketchbook, and well, it's over halfway done, so I guess you will see it in the sketchbook tour soon. But you see me practice lighting mostly with animals, and then even more so mostly with the cats, like this one. And I wanted to have them backlit or frontlit super hefty, but I still like the colors to be quite dull with not a lot of contrast, and then have all the contrast in the lighting. So it's a bit of a weird vibe what I'm going for. I hope you understand. I will show some of the cats I painted in the sketchbook at the end, so maybe it will make sense. But yeah, that's not all I'm doing to practice lighting. I've read a couple of art books, and I'm just trying per painting to test out what I've read. So using the colors, mostly reflecting the colors. So right now you see it's an orange cat, so I also painted some orange in the grass. This is not that great of an example, but I also have examples of and again you will see this when my sketchbook tour comes, but then I painted a monkey and there were colored spheres surrounding him, so then that color would also reflect on his fur. Things like that. The relax and let go part of this sketchbook is the hardest thing to do. Like, I can practice lighting, I can use the whole page, I use limited palettes, but to relax and let go, I think I need a less fancy sketchbook. Because this cost quite much, it's quite a lot. It's the Etchr Prefect sketchbook, and I believe it was 40 euros, which is just a lot. I get a lot of practice out of it, and the paper is good, so it really helps me grow. So it's worth the cash, I think, so that's okay. But still, it feels too precious to just try. Well, in other sketchbooks, I was happy to just splatter the water around and just see what kind of textures would come up. In this one, I'm a little bit more careful. This painting, I started this painting to try and have a little bit more fun and try to let go a little bit more. I wanted to make the cat a little bit more cartoony, not get hung up by what looks right and what looks real, not have 20 layers of background. But still, I was very frustrated that it didn't work out quite as I wanted to, and well, it wasn't the let go part. Let's call it that. I wasn't succeeding in letting go and just having fun. It was still very fun to paint, but I think I would have gotten some more joy out of it if I painted it in a less fancy sketchbook. But that's just something I need to... It's just my mind space. I need to differ something. I need to change something and use this as a fun sketchbook as well. I'm not sure what my next sketchbook is going to be yet, but I think I'm going to go for something a little bit cheaper, even though I really loved working in this sketchbook. It's time to reveal the painting. As you can see, some edges aren't that crisp, others are super crisp. The satisfying tape peel moments. That's the fun and let go of the sketchbook, is the tape peels. And this is how it came out. I love it as a page of my sketchbook just to flip through. I'm not sure I love it as a separate painting. And here are the other cats that I talked about. Thank you so much for listening and watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, thank you. Goodbye.